idea, out of the first abyssal wars, everyone will chill at their favorite tavern to enjoy some mead and enjoy a game of cards.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from the Dice Tower for How to Play video series.
In this video, we will teach you Fray, game designed by Adam Bassett and published by Smunchy Games. We're using a prototype copy of the game, and so the rules and components you see here may not be final.
Let's get to the table.
Fray is a quick-playing card game for 2 players. From a hand of cards, players will play their units into a 3x3 grid, attempting to gain control of other players' units. They can also play spells for special abilities. The game plays until the entire 3x3 grid is filled, and the player who controls the most units at the end of that time wins the game. The game is part of the lore of the Paths RPG game and can be played as part of the RPG or standalone. To set up the game, shuffle the 30 card deck and deal 7 cards to each player. Players then sit opposed with room for a 3x3 grid of cards between them. You can use one of the rule cards placed face down to represent the centre of the grid. Each player then cuts the deck and the highest number goes first. In the cut, spells count as 0. You're now ready to play. On your turn, you may take up to 2 actions by playing cards from your hand. You may play a unit, which is one of the numbered cards, into a space in the grid, and you may play a spell, represented by the letter S, by discarding it into the grave. Playing a unit is mandatory, playing a spell is optional. If you do play a spell, it's your choice whether you do it before or after playing the unit. To play a unit, take the unit card and then place it into any empty space in the 3x3 grid, which includes this middle space. Orient the card so that its text faces you. This represents that you control that card. Next, any orthogonally adjacent units with a lower power number are converted to your side. So in this case, the number 2 would be converted by the number 3. Rotate the card to your side to reflect that. Then, if the unit you've played has an ability printed in text down the bottom, resolve that effect. For example, the Bjorn speaker allows you to draw 1 card. To play a spell, simply discard the card into the grave pile and then resolve the text on the spell. Once you've taken one or both of these actions, play then passes to your opponent, who will do likewise. This then continues until the 3x3 grid is completely filled. Once the final unit has been played to fill up the 3x3 grid, the player who controls the most units on the board wins the game. In this case, the game would be 6-3. In the rare case that a player cannot play a unit on their turn, then the game end is triggered early. The opponent gets to take 1 more turn before the scores are counted. Playing Fray well requires an understanding of the makeup of the deck. The deck is split into 3 suits: Dwarven, Bjorn and Dwarves. Each suit has 7 units numbered 1 to 7 and 3 spells. Higher numbered units are naturally better at converting opposing units, but the abilities printed down the bottom of the cards gets weaker as you go from 1 up to 7. All units with the same number have the same ability, regardless of suit. However, within the spells, the ability on each spell within the same suit is the same, and each suit has a different ability. So now let's look at the abilities. The 1s allow you to draw a new card into hand and play a second unit of the same suit that turn. Playing a 2 allows you either to play your spell this turn from the grave pile, or play an additional spell from your hand. Playing a 3 lets you draw a card into hand, and 4s have no ability. 5s break the normal rules related to conversions. Normally you can only convert a card with a lower power than the card you've played, but 5s can convert and be converted by other 5s. You are not allowed to play any spells on the same turn that you play a 6, and you are not allowed to play any other cards at all on the same turn that you play a 7. However, once you control a 7 on the battlefield, any adjacent units that you control of the same suit are immune to opposing players' spells or effects. The Dwarven spell lets you take 4 cards from the draw deck and keep one of your choice, giving you good flexibility over the cards in your hand. The Dwarvish spell lets you take a unit off the table and put it back into its owner's hand, after which both players draw a card. And the Bjorn spell can be played out of turn to negate the opponent's spell, or can be played in turn to draw a card. Since the negate effect must be played out of turn, it cannot itself be negated by another one of those spells. And that's how to play Fray. We hope that you enjoyed this video.
At the time of filming, Fray is about to be launched on Kickstarter, so we'll put the link in the description below when it is live, so you can check it out.
If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please write them in the comment section below.
Until next time!